Today we're going to head into Collierville, Tennessee to tour Grace Valley Church with Integrator Innovative Solutions.
So we're at Grace Valley Church here in Collierville, Tennessee. We're in front of house right now for the main worship center. We're having a full drum enclosure installed on stage right now, so there's a little bit of background noise and stuff for that.
Tell us about the audio console first.
So for front of house audio, we're running the Allen & Heath Avantis. It's a 64 channel console. It's doing all of the main mixing for the room here. Got all of your inputs on one side, and then we have all the DCAs and groups set up on the other side. And then for ears, we're running the Clang conductor. This unit here, that's running all of the in-ears. So you can see the layout of it here on this touchscreen. So from a phone, iPad, whatever, you can mix. And the really nice thing is any input, you can just take it and drag it anywhere you want throughout the room in a 3D space around your head. So you can just take and drag it around. Come on. You can just take whatever input you want, put it anywhere in a 360 around your head.
And that throws the sound to that direction.
Correct.
So it's a very immersive mixing setup. And you said how many inputs?
The Clang conductor can do 128 inputs.
128 inputs.
16
stereo.
Separate mixes. Yeah.
Now tell us a little bit about the architecture of this room. Y'all came into an empty space. Tell us how
Correct.
This room came about.
So it was just a normal gym with a small stage on it. We completely designed the whole entire room, acoustical paneling around the entire room, custom acoustical battens hanging in the air.
Yeah, they look like beams, but these are actual acoustic.
So they're a frame with insulation inside and then wrapped in a custom wood fabric. And then we did lighting grids on the ceiling. We have some moving spots and then some more traditional Lecos and Fresnels for normal front light on the stage.
You also did a lot of acoustic panels on the walls, and then you've got LED tape tucked in to those as well.
Yeah, so the bottom two rows of acoustical paneling have LED tape in them, and we can see those turned on in a little bit.
All right, and then tell us about the PA.
So we're running 2 stacks of 4 of the RCF HDL 30s. There's 4 per side flown, and then on the ground we have 4 of the RCF dual 18s subwoofers, and then 5 of the DB Tech front fill speakers in the front edge of the stage. LED wall, we have 2 iMag screens on the sides for graphics or iMag camera shots.
Mm-hmm.
We have a full LED wall on the upstage wall on stage. It's actually on a trolley system, so you can move it up and down stage to make a walkway behind it, to get behind it to service it, all of that. And then we have some little environmental LED panels up there as well. We have curtain around the entire room on the front.
Protection, you said protection net?
Yeah, so there's a net in the corner over here.
And it tracks around the entire front.
Yeah.
And then you've also got net right here that can track around the entire front of house.
And that protects balls and anything like that from, because it's a normal gym as well. During the week, the chairs will be removed and basketball goals can lower down and become a complete, fully functional gym. So these nets just protect all of the tech equipment from getting hit with balls or anything.
It's actually a pretty tough net, and that's been successful.
Yep. We haven't had any damage here. And then fixtures and everything are up high enough in the air that we haven't had issues with those getting hit from balls either. Yeah, so far it's kept everything safe. There's little hooks at the bottom corners of the walls that they hook into to keep it stretched tight, so there's no give in it. When a ball hits it, it just bounces off like it's a wall.
Now, what stations are back here at front of house? Talk about that.
So we have front of house audio. This area here is kind of almost like a director position. This computer here can basically run anything in the whole worship center, whether it's broadcast video, audio, Avantis, any of it. We can remote control just about everything from this machine.
They've got a planning center feed right
Yep.
here, which it looks like for front of house and directors shared.
Yep. And they also have set up here, this connection here. They can plug in a laptop to run multi-tracks from here versus on stage.
Okay.
Their director can run them from here. They like to do that sometimes just to keep volunteers off of the stage from running it.
And they're getting a multi-view as well
Yep.
from broadcast, just so they can kind of see what's going on. And then we have lighting over here, which, tell us about lighting. This is Champs' setup over here?
Yep, so we have the Champs' Magic Q software, and we're running 2 of the Dell touchscreens, and it's actually running, the software is running on a Lenovo Tiny PC here, and it runs all of the lighting for the room. I believe we're running 6 universes of fixtures. Everything from moving spots, moving washes, hazer, and then all of your normal conventional fixtures. Fresnels, pars, Licos, everything like that. We're running all Jobit fixtures. So these larger spot fixtures are the BSW 460s. It's a beam spot wash fixture. They have some nice gobos and stuff like that in it. And then we have the Jobit Licos and Fresnels for normal key light. And then on stage, we have some of these Edison bulbs hanging from the Christmas Eve service. They're all on dimmer packs, so you can do little twinkle chases and stuff like that between all of them. And then we have the Jobit Very Wash 760s. They're a BI fixture that we can do all kinds of nice rotations and pixel control on all of those.
And then what are these back here?
So these are the Jobit 250 moving spots. They're just a smaller version of the 460 BSWs up front. So we can do gobos on stage and nice beams and stuff on stage. And then there's a number of Fresnels and little par fixtures on stage for doing wash of front line or backlight for the front line, and then main wash for back line.
And all of this is LED stuff?
Correct, yep, everything in here is LED. So these are our house light fixtures. They're the Jobit house light fixture. They're RGBW, so you can get a nice color control of those. Acoustical paneling on the sides of the room. Everything's got LED tape behind them there. You can
Flipping
do
that.
any color mixing there. Here we have those 460 BSWs. We're running 8 of these above the audience that we can use for any sort of solo special spots that we need. Even the audience overhead we can wash with gobos using those to get some nice effects that way. The Very Wash 760s, so these are these wash fixtures here. So you can see you can get a nice tight beam with those. You can also zoom these out pretty wide to get a nice wide coverage. So you can watch the whole stage with these from there. So we're running 4 of the Blackmagic Pocket Cinema 6Ks. They're on the DJI Ronin gimbals with custom brackets hanging them, and they're on quick detach brackets, so you can pull it down pretty quickly for when there's basketball and normal gym activities in here. We're running 1 on each side wall and then 2 above front of house. and they're all controlled from broadcast video, where we'll go here in a second. And they all have the Canon EF mount lenses on them. There's several different sizes that we swap between. And there's also a couple smaller Blackmagic cameras on stage for tighter instrument shots and stuff like that. But this is the main broadcast video control room.
All right, talk about these stations right here.
So both stations here run ProPresenter. We're on ProPresenter 7. And so this station runs the main LED wall graphics. Everything on the actual stage LED wall for environmental, lyrics, stuff like that is ran from this station. This station runs everything you see lower thirds and on the iMag screens on the sides. But they are linked together using the ProPresenter network link. So this station runs both computers at the same time, so they're perfectly in sync with each other. It only takes one operator to run it. With the ProPresenter link, for the graphic station, you can set like one background. If there's only one slide, it'll automatically stay on that slide until the next song is started on the main controlling machine. So like for the sermon, there's only one graphic that's up on the environmental wall. So there's only one graphic on this machine, and then all of your sermon points and all that are ran from the other machine. And then once you get to your next playlist item, it'll automatically swap from here and take control. This machine is ran HDMI directly into the Novastar processors driving the LED wall. This machine is running the Decklink Quad 4 for SDI outputs for all of ProPresenter. We're running, I believe, 3 lines for lower thirds, graphics, stuff like that, and then 3 different stage displays. So we run a clocks display, a lyric display, and then a tech display, which is more detailed clocks for tech use for video countdowns and segment countdowns and stuff like that.
So come show us the front stations.
So up here is where we run the PTZ cameras from using the Middle Things controllers. So we run 4 cameras, so we have each camera here on those gimbals, and you can see it here controlling it. And you can get a very smooth pan and tilt out of these, as well as zoom control. And you can get pretty tight with them. You can adjust focus and everything from here. You can set presets for positions and everything. So that's where we control all 4 PTZ cameras from. You can also do it from software on a computer. Here we're just running a Mac Mini. You can run the PTZs from here off of this software here for the Middle Things. And this is also where we switch all of our video feeds from. We're running the Blackmagic Constellation 12K switcher. It's a 4ME switcher. So we're running 1ME for live stream, 1ME for iMag screens, and then we have 2 more MEs that we can use for anything else that we may need. But it's all ran off of a touchscreen instead of the actual physical surface. We've enjoyed using just a touchscreen for it. You have access to everything just like you would with a normal control surface. It's just all done via touchscreen. You can still use your T-bars pretty smoothly, your auto and cut transitions, all of that. And then on the wall we have all of our multi-views and everything like that. So the top left screen, we see all of our clocks for video countdowns and segment countdowns and stuff like that. The next screen is our program feed, so that's what our stream sees and everything like that. This next screen is a multi-view of just different things on the switcher. So you can see the 2 AgMag screens, what they're getting, what digital signage is getting. And then the bottom 2 screens are running all of our inputs to the switcher. There's numerous floor boxes on stage. All of them have SDI in and out for teaching TVs or camera control, computer inputs, camera inputs, anything like that that you could need from the stage.
We have green room / prayer room.
Yeah, so this is where band and anyone else that's part of the service can hang out and prepare to go on stage and all that throughout the services. TV on the wall that they can see the service and all that from.
And then we have racks. Well, first of all, talk about this.
So we custom built this cabinet enclosure. It's actually a door that opens, it swings open, and all the computer and cable management is hidden behind it. So you can't see anything from the front. But
what are these monitors normally showing?
So one of them will show Planning Center Live, so you can see where you're at in service. And then the next one will just show the Planning Center services, where it just shows you the whole set list of what happens throughout the day. They have multiple services on a Sunday. So you could see an overview of the complete service on one screen, and then you can see exactly where you are in the current service on the top screen.
Are those fed from a Mac Mini or something?
Correct, yeah, there's a Mac Mini hidden inside of here in the cabinet.
Where's all that controlled from? Just over here somewhere?
Yeah, so we just have a wireless mouse and keyboard that you can control straight into, or you can remote into it using screen share from another Mac on the network.
And then all of your wireless.
So we're running all of the Shure ULX-D wireless. So everything's on the charging stations that are network controlled. So you can monitor all of your battery supplies.
And the mics, Vocal 2, Mix 2.
Yep,
Mix
so
3,
everything's
Vocal
lined
3.
up with what it is. If you're Vocal 1, you have Mix 1 and Vocal 1 mics. And we actually do this based off of where you are on stage. So far stage right is going to be Vocal 1 and all the way across left to right, or house left to house right. It keeps everything clean. Front of house engineer knows exactly who's singing where. It doesn't matter if they know their names or not, because it's just 1 through however many singers are on stage. So you always know who's where, because it's just in order 1 through 6. So here, this rack on the left is all of our audio equipment. So we use Unify for all of our normal network VLAN, stuff like that for staff, production, everything. And then we're running Cisco switches for all of our Dante network.
Mm-hmm.
These patch panels here are all of our floor boxes on stage coming back to here, as well as our audience mics that are hanging in the air.
And then they drop down and patch into.
So they drop down and patch
into
it's the Allen and Heath GX4816. So it's a 48 input, 16 output stage box.
Yep.
So that drives all of our main PA, any monitor wedges that we may need on stage for any choirs that they may do, stuff like that.
That all comes in here.
Yep.
And then you've got
wireless. And then we run the Shure ULX-D 4Qs for all of our wireless receivers. We're running 3 4-channels at the moment, with space to expand if needed in the future.
And then in-ears.
And then, so in-ears, we're running the Shure PSM 900s. We're running 12 mixes of those, all in stereo mode, and from the Klein conductor that we saw before. Those are all getting their feeds from the Allen and Heath DX012. It's a 12 output stage box. So those are all feeding directly into the PSM 900s that way to get signal to them.
And then y'all built a custom.
So we have a custom plate patch panel
to the back.
Yeah, and they come out of the back of here directly into the back of each unit.
Just to make it neater.
Yep, and then jumpered up. Keep everything nice and clean.
All right, and then this rack here
This rack is kind of a mixture of everything. So we have network up at the top, security cameras, TVs throughout the building, everything, anything on the network is top section here. Then we have the RCF RDNet Control 8, which is the speaker processor. It does all of the tuning and everything for all of the PA in the main worship center. And then this next section is all lighting. We're running the Luminex GigaCore 12. It's just a 12-port switch that's doing all the switching for ArtNet for the lights. Currently we're running the EP4 ArtNet node. Coming out of there is the 4 universes into the 4 DMX splitters. First splitter is all house lights, so all of the house lights are RGBW fixtures. They all come and are fed from this one universe. Lighting grid above the actual seating comes off of here. The third universe is all of your stage grids, so all the fixtures on stage come from there. And then the fourth one is kind of a catch everything else, so all of our environmental LED tape, floor boxes, all of that come off of Universe 4. Next we have the Pro Intercom PS301. It's the main processor brain for the comm system. From there we have amps to feed lobby speakers, outdoor speakers for the parking lot. Then we get down into the Resi encoder. We use Resi media to stream our services. So this is the encoder for feeding that. And then we have 3 of the Novastar VX1000s. One of them is feeding the left-right IMAG screens. One of them is feeding the main center LED wall. And then the other one is feeding all of the extra environmental LED wall, columns and side panels and stuff like that on stage. And then we have the Blackmagic ATEM Constellation 12K here. It's the actual switcher that does all of the switching. And then we have the Blackmagic Video Hub 40x40. It's just an SDI router that gets all of your SDI inputs and outputs where they need to go.
And then individual recording for each camera.
Yep, so we run 5 of the Blackmagic HyperDecks. We'll record the main program feed and then individual ISO recordings of all the cameras. So later in the week, if there was any mishaps in production or something like that, we're able to go back and in post edit all of the service with the ISO feeds if needed to fix any issues that may have happened or anything like that.
So where's all this mixed? Because obviously you've got to have good mixes for your streaming as well.
Yeah, so all the way on the other side of the building we have broadcast audio. It's quite a walk to get there. So into here is broadcast audio. This is where all of our live stream audio is mixed. So we're running Pro Tools for broadcast audio. As you can see, we have multi-views and monitors everywhere for seeing what's happening during the service and mixing on Pro Tools.
SSL control surface.
We're running the SSL 360 control surfaces. We have 3 of those that are recessed into the desk that we custom built. We have a room view camera, so you can always see what's happening in the room no matter what's happening on camera.
Almost like a security camera.
Yep, it's one of the little Marshall POV cameras with a fisheye lens on it, so you can see basically the whole entire room.
This runs your planning center live?
Yep, we run planning center live, so you can see exactly what's happening during the service and where we are during the service, what's next, what's coming up, stuff like that.
And then we've got all of your clocks.
Yep, got clocks, program feeds, so you see what's live always, and then multi-view, so you can always see what's happening on camera.
And then you've got audio control.
Yep, so we're using the Behringer Studio L monitor control for keeping all of the levels in here controlled.
And I said something to them earlier because they've got some Focal stuff over here. Y'all are getting ready to do some switches in here.
So we're getting ready to swap the PreSonus monitors out for the Focals. So back here is our main network rack. for the building. And we custom built this acoustical panel door that rolls over to keep all of the fan noise and all that down while you're mixing broadcast audio. And now you can hear fans running and all of that from all of this equipment. But this is where all of our network comes in, our service provider comes in, Unify for all of our building network comes in here. Another one of those Cisco switches for Dante. And then the Netgear switches for all of the digital signage TVs throughout the building. We're running the Enterprise NVR from Unify for all of the security cameras throughout the building. And then we have audio amplifiers down here for all of our lobby speakers and exterior speakers on the back side of the building.
Now, Zach, we talked about the entrance of this church. Very impressive look. But if we walk this direction,
Yep,
maybe
so
one of the most impressive welcome desks that I've ever seen, and y'all have wrapped a video wall.
Yep, so this is a custom LED panel wall.
But it is thin.
It's
Like the
completely wall-mounted.
video's not showing you. It's like the thickness of a finger.
Yeah. Yeah, so these are all individual modules, and I can pop one out for you to show you exactly how it's built. So we actually cut the sheetrock out and did a metal frame in here that's all magnetic, so all of these panels just stick using magnets to the frame. So we just started in the corner and worked our way all the way around from there. And
But
they
this
all
gives
fit
you the
together.
flexibility to do all kinds of stuff depending on the season or whatever.
Yeah, so like right
At
now
your
you see our
welcome.
Christmas, Merry Christmas slide up now. But during the week we can have graphics go in for announcements for special events and stuff like that. Yeah, so both of these rooms, the first room we're gonna go to is the student youth room. So Jason Long, the owner of Innovative Solutions, did all of the architectural design for these spaces.
And these spaces are still a work in progress.
Correct, yeah. So we just recently finished the remodel side of it, but we're still working on doing the actual AV install, technical install of the rooms. So we have the same job at RGBW house light fixtures in here to get house light and be able to change the color of the rooms.
And you can recall everything on the wall.
Correct.
If you pre-programmed.
Yeah, so you get 10 scenes. It's the Champsys 10 scene controller. So you can program anything you want to those 10 buttons.
So that makes it easy for anybody who might want this flexibility in the lighting system,
Yep.
but also where anyone can come in,
Right.
even a dummy,
Yep.
and turn the lights on.
Yeah, you
without
can just
knowing.
come in and press which scene you want, and it can change the color of the room based off of that. So this is a RGB AL fixture, so it's got your red, green, blue, amber, and lime color, so you can get any color you want out of them. And then they also have zoom on them, so they can zoom in and out to tighten and widen your coverage. And then it's got the standard barn doors on it to shape where you have your light hitting as well.
And then you are getting ready to fly PA in here.
Yep, so right now we just have some rental speakers on stands until the install is complete, but
And
we'll
then
have,
video wall's going to be mounted as well.
yep, so similar to that bar in the lobby, we'll have a wall mount LED wall in here. It'll go on the side walls, and then this whole little stage area will be all LED wall on the wall. And this room here, same thing. Jason did all of the architectural design work for this. But this is a kids' main gathering room where they can meet on Sunday mornings and stuff like that as a large group.
Tell us the vision for this.
So this main wall in the back will have a custom designed LED wall on it that'll be on a track system. So it'll be 2 LED walls that can roll together to make one large LED wall, or separate and be individually controllable if you need something for older kids on one side and smaller kids on the other, or if you want to do like a game night or something like that, you can have 2 different games playing at the same time. Stuff like that, or you can roll it together, connect it together to make one big wall for large presentations, movies, stuff like that. Same thing in here, we have the RGB house lights, so you can change the color of the room. So we did all of the check-in stations here. They run the planning center People, I believe it is, for check-in and all that for kids. So here you can see there's 5 touchscreens mounted to the wall. Everything's nice and clean. So you have
really
touchscreens to log in, and then the zebra printers to print out your stickers for the kids. All custom countertops and everything like that. Computers are hidden underneath to where you can't see them, out of sight. And then we have a similar setup here for the younger kids, or new kids, stuff like that. For the guests that may not have never been here, never used a check-in station before, they can come here, and volunteers from the church can help check in their child and stuff like that. Yeah, so we're Innovative Solutions based out of Collierville, Tennessee. We're a full audio-visual lighting integration company. Our website is ismemphis.com. From there, you can see some of our projects we've done, all of our contact information and stuff like that.